Hey there, funnel builders. How we doing? Mike here from Sell Your Service. We had a question come in that I get quite a lot, and I basically wanted to take a few minutes to run a whiteboard session on how to set your prices. So let me jump over here and share this screen. So here we go. Right, let's just make this slightly larger. So Nagy asks, hi, how do you decide about your prices, especially at the start and you have no clients? If you're new in the market, maybe putting your lower prices on your services on your front page to get clients fast might be a turnoff because it's cheap. Completely agree with you there. Big companies also won't take you seriously. If you don't mention prices, you just go after a free scheduled call, then it might be a turnoff for most. They might be not that good if they have time for everybody. Where's the fine line? How do you manage it from the start? So, Nagy, I'm not picking on you, but this is a very common question. So I wanted to run a bit of a quick whiteboard session here on how to basically do this. Now, why won't it let me share my screen? Screen one, entire screen. There we go. Cool. Sweet. So got some bullet points here. How do you price your services when you haven't got any clients? What about free calls? You know, how do you price expensive but not too expensive? Hey guys, no worries guys. If you're watching on Facebook, by the way, just above you is a little thing where you can accept a response. So you can click it and it will allow me to see. At the moment, it just says, hi, thanks for the response, but it actually doesn't tell me your name. It looks really dark when I do that, doesn't it? Because of the light. Anyway, whiteboard session. So I'm actually going to move over slightly and I'm going to hide that. So here's what I need you to do first, okay? Be above and beyond absolutely everything. I need you to find your desired income. That's actually the most important price. Price is irrelevant. Price doesn't exist, okay? Price is not a thing. Money is a myth. Money is paper that we pretend has value because other people pretend that has value. So don't set it there. Instead, I want you to start with what your desired income is. Hey there, guys, if you're watching, by the way, if you're watching the replay, hello, let me know in the comments by putting the word pricing. Even if you're watching on YouTube or the comments, put pricing. But if you're watching this live, hello, use the comment section to interact. Hey, guys. I need you to start with your desired income, and easily it starts with kind of per year. Now, you might decide that you personally, your desired income, hey Chris, how's it going, is 100,000 US dollars. Okay, that's your personal income. That typically means that you're going to need roughly $200,000 worth of sales. So that's your personal income. And this is your business income or revenue, right? Roughly speaking, it's going to be about 50%. Okay, roughly it should be about 50%, up until about $200,000. So the first and number one point you need to do is define your desired income. That is absolutely critical. Yeah, now that's handwriting. Yes, it is, mate. Yeah, just nonsense scribbles on the screen, right? You need to define your desired income. That is absolutely categorically the most important part of the entire process, because that is going to inform absolutely everything that you do afterwards. Okay. After that, we're going to move down into the second point, your business revenue figure. Okay. Bearing in mind your personal income is roughly 50% of your projection income. That number obviously goes down. If you have $1 million worth of business revenue, you're probably only going to be taking about 10% or 15%. So regardless, I'll just put my OCR glasses on. Yeah, sorry guys. I'll try and write a bit more legibly then. So this is your business revenue. You now know that you need to make $200,000 per year. Okay. The next goal is to work out basically how many clients you want to work with. Okay. Now, this might seem like a bizarre question. Hey, Haley, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad I could help out. This is just a really common question. And even though we've got content out there that answers it, it's a really good way for me to kind of go over this and whiteboard it again, right? The next question is to ask, how many clients do you want? Now, again, this might sound bizarre, But if you are working by yourself, revenue of 200,000, roughly, that means you're probably going to have, I don't know, between 2 and 4 members of staff, maybe more, but you could do that up to about 2 or 3, 4 members of staff. And you might think, well, 200,000, I could either have 200 clients at $1,000 per year, or I could have 1,000 clients at $200 per year, or I could have 20 clients at $10,000 per year. So I could sell 20 $10,000 projects. Okay, this is where your pricing comes in. Now, I believe that you should have this pricing structure. So I know a lot of the time it should be how do you want to do it, but I'm going to give you a pricing structure. Okay, here's what I recommend. You have a top level product that is priced at $25,000 per project. That should be your kind of flagship core offering. Okay, that's your basic funnel package, and I do mean basic. When I say top, I mean it's your top tiered product, $25,000. A lot of people say, how much should I charge? And I'll say to them, you should charge 25 grand. And they go, well, I can't charge that much. I'm like, you just asked me how much you should charge, and I'm telling you, you should charge $25,000. If you don't think that you can justify $25,000, and we'll talk about that in a bit, we'll talk about how we can do that. If you don't think that you can justify $25,000, what you're actually asking me is, what is the most that I can get away with for my level of experience? And I can't help you with that, because I don't believe that that's a fair question. Your top level product should be charged at $25,000. Okay, that's for you to work with your customers. That's at a bare minimum, by the way. So that there is basically a funnel package. Now that might include, I don't know, some basic landing pages, a little bit of email automation, maybe some sales work, stuff like that. That should be the top level package that you earn. You should also have a recurring revenue product of around 97 to 297 per month. Okay, notice that I am first of all defining the price. I'm not telling you what we're going to put in there yet. The mistake that people make, and this is the pricing mistake that people make, is they do a list of features first, and then they try to guess what the price would be. That's a mistake. This is the wrong way to price. What people do, and particularly funnel builders, is they'll write up a proposal. They'll write up a quote, although you shouldn't call it quotes. They'll write up some kind of document that says, I want to list out everything that I'm going to offer. What should I offer? What should I charge for this? I'll have a guess. The market seems to be down here and up here, so I'll put myself somewhere in the middle. And that's wrong. That is a very fast way to becoming bankrupt. Instead, we're going to skip that, and we're going to go straight to charging $25,000. And our job is to justify that $25,000. And the way that we do that is by, as I've mentioned before, selling futures, not features. We then, every single person who buys a $25,000 product should be put on a recurring revenue product per month. Okay, that is to keep the site running. If you want help with that, it's a relative area of expertise, but it's not my strongest area. I would recommend going over and checking out Christina Romero's content over at WP Care Market. She basically nails the recurring revenue model. Anyway, you're also going to have, hopefully, some lower tier products between 19 and let's say 997 for people who can't afford that. Okay, just because they can't afford you doesn't mean you can't work with them. You just can't deliver a $25,000 product when they've only got $2,500 to spend on you. If they've only got $20, great, offer them an ebook. Okay, explaining to them. If you want bad handwriting, Chris, check out how I just wrote the word ebook there. Actually, let me delete, because the banner is a bit obscuring. Hide current banner. Thank you, StreamYard. There we go. That's slightly better. If they've got, what the hell is that? If they've got a couple of $100 or $997, maybe you sell them a course. So what we're doing here is we are building out to some of you some pretty standard like sales processes and funnel processes, and you need to have a range of products. You probably also need to have something in the region of 10 grand, which will probably be closer to consulting, like talking to them. You also need something like a $3,000 to $5,000 product as well, and you move people through them, right? The reason we do that is because, if I can move this here, we sell futures, not features. So what this means, features, what this means is that the price is irrelevant. The price doesn't matter. It's not the price that the customer's buying. The customer isn't buying the price. Instead, what they are buying is a transformation from where they are unhappy to where they are happy, and they're in a land of mystical rainbows, right? Yay, mystical rainbows. But over here, it sucks because it rains, right? They're trying to make their transition over here, but they are constantly hitting roadblocks, okay? For example, your customers might be extremely stressed. They barely spend any time with their kids, and they're working 80 hours a week, okay? And what they want to do is work 4 days a week, spend more time with their kids, and they want to feel like they're like fulfilled but not stressed, okay? What they're doing at the moment, the roadblocks, they're probably trying to work harder. They're probably trying to work longer hours. They probably think that more leads are going to get them there. They're spending money on adverts. They're paying copywriters. They've got fucking dozens of SEO contractors and social media contractors. They've got loads of SEO tools and social media tools, and they're doing all this kinds of shit. None of this works, and they keep hitting the roadblock. We, however, are going to come in and we're going to say, actually, there's a better way to do this. I'm going to take you over the roadblock into your happy place where you're going to be fulfilled. You're going to be able to work 4 days a week, and we're going to have more time to spend with your kids, right? That's the transformation that we're selling. Now, the process of actually getting there, that might be a marketing funnel. That might be email opt-ins. That might be email marketing and SEO and social media. That doesn't matter. But the actual sale is made when we explain the happy state that they could be in, the bad state that they're in now, and the thing that's in their way. When we explain those three things to them, and the more we delve into that and the more we explain those three things to them, the more likely they are to buy. People don't buy marketing funnels. The first rule of selling marketing funnels is do not talk about marketing funnels. If you want to sell marketing funnels, you need to start talking about the happy, positive future and transformation that someone is going to come into. Matt Davis, that is beautiful. Thank you very much. Ozok, exactly. Yeah. Excellent breakdown, Mike, but my head gets wonky with all the new pricing levels and imagining the work we need to do. I don't think it does necessarily, Matt. I think you are already there. I would probably imagine that the only thing is you haven't delved deep enough into the final transformation. I'll actually give you guys an example later. Do you put these prices on your front page, 25K, 10K, $20? Great question. So Nagy, I'm going to assume that's you because I know that's what you were talking about. That's a really good question. Here's what we do. The prices, sorry, I'm still kind of getting used to this whiteboard. We've basically got 3 pages that we're looking at on our website. Okay, so this is our site. The short answer is yes. Okay. We have a qualification, and if you check out the Apex Campaigns course, I talk about how to run these qualifications. We have a sales page, and we have our front page. The front page really should be designed to do is to redirect people to where they need to get to. Okay, so we do not put the price on there. Okay, the sales page, however, is going to be well-written copy, making out an argument as to why they should buy, explaining that transformation we've talked about above. We bullet point out the futures that they're going to benefit from. And at some point on there, we tell them the price and we say that this particular package is 25K. What's interesting, right? And this is kind of a bit of a rant here, so I'm actually going to swatch this over here. What's really interesting is I have lots of service businesses say, oh, but no other service businesses are doing that. No other service businesses have a long form written sales page explaining their product and then saying it's 25,000. They have a lovely blue and white and grey minimalist clean design with their products laid out. And they say we do a basic website for 5,000, a medium website for 10 grand, and a hyper website for 25,000. I go, great, cool. How many sales do you reckon they generate through those pages? None? One a year, maybe? I'm not saying that those pages hurt, but what I'm saying is if you want to sell your products, you need to create sales collateral. And one of the strongest pieces of sales collateral you can create is a long form written sales letter justifying why a product is worth 25,000. We'll even go into one now. I'll show you one in a minute, like an example one. Admittedly, it's only for $47, but the concept is the same, and we've got them kind of placed around elsewhere. On the qualification, and this one also is 25K if it's for a, switch back to the screen. If it's for a 25,000, if it's for a $20 product, it doesn't matter, okay? Individual sales pages, okay? If you have people say, we'd like to work with you, can we have a conversation with you? You should be qualifying them. So you should be getting them to say yes or no, or this place and this place. During this price page, during this part of the process, you absolutely need to be asking them their budget. That should be one of the first things that you ask them during a qualification call. Having your price on the website will not in itself as one single item increase or decrease the likelihood of sales. You won't lose a sale because of it, but you might win a sale because of it. If you have your price on a sales page and people go, yeah, that's pretty expensive, well, then they were never ready to buy. But that's why we have all of this content here to start with, explaining and justifying and talking them through why that's so important. The qualification page absolutely has to ask for the budget because we need to be able to check that they aren't wasting our time. I won't have a meeting with anyone until they filled out a qualification form. And like I said, in Apex campaigns, I actually talk through that process, how I've built ours out. I've even got some free training out there somewhere, which I'm sure I'll find, or if you email me, I can find it for you. So that's the second place that your price needs to be when you are going through those, going through that part of the process. So I hope that helps. I just want to do one other final little piece here. So we've decided our total income that we need to make. We've decided that we want to work with, well, in this case, it would be fewer than 10 clients, which gets to $250,000. So let's just say 10 clients at 25,000, nice and simple. That's fewer than one a month. We then need to decide, well, what type of futures are we going to sell? The greater this gap here from where they are to where they're going to be, and the faster we can get them there, the more they'll pay. So if I was to say, I want to help you increase the number of leads you generate so that you can spend more time at home and less time at the office, you can only work 4 days a week, and you're actually going to have more money because of it, and you're going to have people ready to buy from you, you would say, that sounds great. I'd love to buy that. Fantastic. What was the product that I talked about there? And the problem, and you don't have a product there. There was no product. I didn't talk about the product. I just talked about the transformation. If I really delve into that and really get into the emotional state and really talk about how I can get you there and how fast you can get there, the price increases. The more I talk about the future and the clearer I am about the future and the more immediate and obvious I talk about that transformation, the larger the gap and the larger the sum. Because what I talked about there is I'm going to help you generate more leads and be less stressed and whatever. That could be a book, that could be a course, that could be a sales funnel, that could be an entire coaching program, it could be an entire business. That's irrelevant. The future is what they're buying. The delivery method is irrelevant depending on their budget. What do you ask them on the qualification page, and when do you send them exactly? So that's a good question. So as soon as anyone says to me, hey, Mike, so full disclosure, I don't have time to consult anymore. So I don't do this anymore. But what we did used to do was send them to, actually, I think we've still got the project page still up. We would send them, basically, if someone says, hey, we really want to work with you, we like your work, can you send us a proposal? Can you send us a quote? I'd say, yeah, that's absolutely fine. I'd love to work with you. I'd be happy to send you a proposal. But right now, what I need to do is I need to ask a few questions of you, and I will send them a qualification. And I use Landbot. We've also got a qualification worksheet, but it's basically the first thing that we ask them to do is we qualify them, and very quickly I will ask them their budget. So we use BANTS, B-A-N-T-S, BANTS, Budget, Authority, Need, Timescale, and Suppliers. Now, if you haven't got that, let's look at the qualification bot. If you haven't got a chat bot or a form, that's absolutely fine. I used to do this manually. So someone would call me up and I would say, yeah, great. I would hop on a call. They'd want to talk through their ideas. And I'd say, I want to give you the most accurate quote that I can. However, I need to ask a few questions so that I can answer as accurately as possible and give you the best quote possible. So I'm more than happy to give you a proposal. I'm more than happy to give you a quote. I just need to understand a little bit more about you before we work with you. And inside this qualification bot, I will ask them for their budget. But you can do it just as a qualification sheet. I think I've even got like qualification sheet somewhere. Well, I know I have. Let me see if I can find that and drop that into the group maybe, because it needs to be asked as soon as possible and early on. Am I sharing my screen here? No, there we go. So we have this little bot here, and it says, hi, what do you want to do? What do you want to work with? Qualifier, and then qualifier. What kind of products do you have? How often do you create content? Are you willing to spend money on advertising? And here we go. Do you spend money on advertising? What will you be willing to spend to solve these problems? And that's the budget. Heads up. Hey, Stephen. What does heads up mean? Like I said, I've got a qualification worksheet. This is all part of Apex, by the way. Qualification scripts. What's the name of your business? What's your name? Now, like I said, you could put this into a form. You could just have this on your website so that you have, mikekillen.com/project or new project. Maybe we don't call it qualification. Oh, you're in the house. Hey, Stephen, how you doing? Sorry, mate. And it says 420 as well. So nice, good timing. So this is something that you want to do is finding that out as soon as possible. There's actually a few people watching. Anyone got any more questions at all regarding pricing, regarding any of that? It's kind of a quick one, but really where you want to start is by looking at your initial desired income first and then working from there. Don't price against the market or any of that, because it'll only kill your business. So do you have no prices on your site to get calls? Again, there's other ways around doing that. There's other ways to do that, for example, to get leads, because what you're talking about there is getting leads with people and then qualifying them. There's other ways of doing that. Having calls with people, as a rule, you want to have as many calls as possible, because over time you'll learn who is and who isn't worth having a conversation with. But in the long run, it needs to be automated or taken care of, which is why some people have an appointment setter. We can talk about that quickly. So in your business, this is you here at the top. You are basically the key person of influence, or the director, or whatever you want to call it. That's you at the head, right? The second person we tend to hire is some kind of business manager or general manager. After that, you want to hire someone in the sales department, and that is an appointment setter. And that person's job is to basically do just what you're talking about, Nagy, and qualify people, have conversations with them, set appointments and say, hey, we want to set sales calls, and just qualify them. Your general manager continues to take care of admin. And this person over here, so technicians or ops, that's your delivery team. And then eventually it shifts again, and you have person in general manager position, bump up like this, and you have your sales team who do appointments and actual sales. You have your admin, which takes care of money and finances, and you have your technicians who do your support or operations, and they might hire a few contractors. But that's roughly what your team's going to look like. Up to that size is probably roughly 1.5 million in revenue, capable or comfortable creating something like that. So if it turns out that that's what your business revenue is, that's what kind of it all filters down and affects it from there. So yeah, that's how that kind of works. Cool. All right, guys, I can't see any more questions, so massively appreciate it. If you do have any more questions, of course, put them in the comments below, and I'll kind of type out my answers. But that's how I wanted to talk through the pricing options. Too many of us have a really big circle for you, and that's about it. I completely agree. So Matt, that's a really interesting point. We kind of have this, and internally you have your admin and sales and marketing, and that's fine. And your operations, and you're absolutely right, but you need probably to hire most likely some kind of VA or general manager, someone to take care of the other side of the business. So as a rule, you don't put your prices on your page. If you have 4 price ranges, you have 4 sales pages. That's your directed front page, for example. If they read it, you give them a price. Well, I put the price on the page. I'll comfortably put the price and say, hey, this is the sales letter. I said I was going to share a sales letter with you guys. Well, the beginnings of a sales letter. And I'll happily put the price on that. For example, this is just some training we're doing on closing. You're very welcome, Max. This is just some training that we're doing on closing, and I'll start with a promise saying, hey, in less than an afternoon or before you finish a cup of coffee, I want to show you how I doubled my revenue only working with one customer every 3 months. My proposals were constantly getting rejected. I spent hours on proposals. I was living at home, working back with my mum, felt like a total failure. And then every once in a while I get a great project. I just couldn't figure out what to do. Whenever I did manage to find a lead or get it through a project through the stage, notice how I'm not talking about the product at all. This is all so far just talking about the emotional journey. So that before and after, that push pull, where are they now, where do they want to be, that kind of dynamic, that rainbow, tugging them between the two. And then after I explain the benefits to them, so here's an interesting exercise. After you've listed out the features that you would deliver, ask, why does that matter? You say, well, we're going to give them more leads. Who cares why they have more leads? And they go, oh, well, because every business wants more leads. All right, well, why do they want more leads? Oh, because they need their books to look really good, because they're looking to sell. Go, right, that's a benefit. Increase the likelihood that you can sell your business within 12 months. That's completely different to saying, I've got a bunch of leads. For example, the absolute worst way to end a pitch or proposal, and the reason 90% of proposals fail. Maybe you would flip that to say the absolute worst way to grow your business, and the reason that 90 businesses don't make any money 6 months of the year. Go, holy shit. What is that? You say, oh, it's because they don't do enough email marketing, which is why we include email marketing. I meant the front page. Do you put the prices on the main front page or not? No, I don't, Nagy. But I also don't think it matters. Like I said, putting them on the front page isn't going to lose you a sale, but it's also not going to make you a sale. It's irrelevant. I wouldn't worry about it. You could not have any prices on. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's not where you put the prices. So it's not where you put the prices. Having the prices on your website isn't going to make you the sale or not. Having expensive prices isn't going to make you the sale or not. You need to understand what is the transformation you're taking the customer on? What are you known for? If someone lands on your front page and says, we sell marketing funnels, you could have a price on there for $200 and it's not going to make a sale. You could have a price on there for $25,000. It's not going to make a sale. If someone lands on your site and says, we help business owners who've been running their businesses for 5 years sell within 12 months for a 20x cap, and they'll go, holy shit, that's someone I want to work with. Now, then, does it matter if you have the prices on or not? No, of course not, because someone wants to work with you. Deep down, yeah, it doesn't hurt to have it on a single sales page to have the prices on, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's not going to make or break your sales process, and it's not going to make or break the whether the customer buys or not. Matt says, yeah, so you end up giving yourself more circles. You look like you have measles or a giant bubble. You do. You look like you're sort of one of those things from, what's it called? Bloody Suicide Squad, those bubble creatures. Fucking hell, I've been going for 30 minutes. That's insane. Hello, everyone who's been watching this. I need to jump off now because we are off to the pub because it's now 4:30. So I hope that helped, guys. I know it probably wasn't the exact answer that people were looking for. I wanted to talk more about pricing. As I mentioned, it's not so much an importance as where you put the pricing. If you've got sales collateral, if you want to put your price somewhere, if you are desperate to write your price somewhere, then write up a brochure and have a PDF download and a printed version of your product brochure and put the price in there. You absolutely need to ask the price during the qualification stage, but during the kind of initial process, it actually doesn't matter. I think that you could have prices on your website. You could not have prices on your website. It's actually how strong is the benefit and the sales message behind what you're selling, and then people are going to want to work with you. And if you find that you have more people asking to work with you that are too low budget, sure, put your price on there, add a 0 on it, and have people go, oh, I'm not interested in working with you. But it's not going to make or break a sale either way. Cool. Let me know, guys, if you have any more questions. I am using this. No, not at all a sales question. It's not a Surface Pro. It's a Surface Book. So yeah, it is a Surface Book. Good question, though. I learned a lot here. We'll reorganize my website in 24 hours. Share the link to that, man. I'd love to see that. Beer o'clock, son. You're absolutely right. I've been counting down for it about 9:30 this morning. It's been a long week. So really good to see you on here as well, Case. Hope to see you on some coaching calls soon, man. We've been missing you. We're missing your energy, son. Cool. Thanks very much, guys. Let me know in the comments below if this was useful and if you're going to make any changes to your site or your pricing, or let me know how much you want to earn in the next year in 2020. In the meantime, I will see you on the next video. Keep building those funnels.